Hi everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Dushyanthan Amarthalingam and I have here with me Mr. Tim Nolan,
Hmm.
and we are excited to share with you that we are going to be offering another guided personal Kanban class in August of 2024. So I'll let Tim start with his introduction and give you a brief overview of guided personal Kanban. Please, Tim.
My name's Tim Nolan. I'm from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in Texas. I am a longtime local govy, and I have seen a lot of ways to do good work and a lot more ways to do bad work. So I've really enjoyed being part of the faculty here at Modus Institute. I think what we have to share here will help you, and I really look forward to being one of your instructors.
Awesome. Thanks, Tim. My name is Dushyanthan Amarthalingam. I've been in the education space for almost 20 years now, a variety of universities. My background is in operations and DevOps type stuff. It's a lot of fun, and I found that personal Kanban has really helped me to tame the overwhelm. And it's done it in a very rich and beautiful way to allow communication beyond just email or Slack messages or anything like that. So, very briefly, this is a personal Kanban class, and we are doing this in a Kanban format. We just completed our intros, and there are a variety of options that we have for you. But before I get to that, let's take a look at the course and what's happening. So, this course is the guided personal Kanban course offered by modusinstitute.com. And this is the URL here. I'll post a link later below. And this one is for August 2024, where it'll be Tim and myself. We're going to be having 4 live sessions of this personal Kanban for about 90 minutes each time. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. This is going to be the
Yeah,
second time that I've taught with Tim. And I have to say, I love the way Tim teaches. I love his Texas drawl. I love everything about how he brings personal Kanban into your life. Anyway, I can yap on about this forever, but Tim, do you have anything to say about this?
what I wanted to just share is whether you practice Kanban, personal Kanban right now, or if it's brand new to you, this is still a good course. For those that are seasoned or those that have experience, there's going to be techniques here, a lot of psychology of why this stuff helps you, what overwhelm really is, and how we can combat it. If you're brand new, then fantastic. This will be a gift, right? This will be something that will allow you to see your work, experience flow, limit your work in progress. It's going to be a really, really good course.
Yeah, thanks for that, Tim. This course is really about how to tame the overwhelm in your life and how you can use an approach like Kanban to bring that flow into your activity, into your tasks, and things like that. So, even though I'm sharing a variety of screens, it's not to overwhelm you, but to show you potentials that are available to you. Going back to this page, I wanted to very quickly just say that this course consists of 3 sort of components to it. The first component, as I mentioned, are going to be the workshop events. So Tim and I will be teaching on Thursdays in August, and the schedule is here, which is August 8th, August 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. The times here are 5 p.m. Pacific to 6:30 p.m. Pacific. So that's the Pacific time zone. So you'll have to adjust for your appropriate time zone. If you are not in North America but appreciate these hours, we would definitely love to have you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just note that whatever the times that are showing up here are for Pacific time. All right. So this is the first component of it, and these are the activities that are going to be accessible to you. So as an example, the very first thing is going to be a link to join our Discord community. I'll talk about it a little bit later. The next set of sessions are for the virtual sessions, and then the recordings of the workshops that Tim and I will prepare for you as we do the work. The second course that you're going to be joining is the bonus content. And so this has been some videos of the overarching theme of personal Kanban and how you can approach it, and the variety of filters and things like that that you can provide for your done tasks and your done items. In addition to that, We have some faculty presentations that go deeper into some of the topics here. And you can see that the content is about, 3 or more hours here. And then the crux of this is what Tim alluded to earlier, which is the personal Kanban. This course, Personal Kanban, was done by Jim Benson and Tonianne DeMaria. It's a 6 module course, about 3.5 hours. And these are the modules that we're going to be covering in the course. And Tim actually made a really beautiful metro map that I'll show you. I'm just going to jump to that tab right now.
If you just wanted to know the basics of just how personal Kanban works, that's module one, and you're done. But as you can see, we've got 5 more modules that go way deeper. The way the course will be is we'll have introductions on the first session and understand the platform and how we're going to share our work and those types of things. And then the remaining 3 sessions will cover 2 modules at a time. So the first will be the basics of Kanban and what the importance of actually visualizing your work, seeing the work that you need to do. That's session 2. And there'll be final module assignments. There'll be some questions at the end. You'll see this in the course. And we'll talk about how to share all that stuff. The third session, we'll get a little bit more into kind of the flow of work, right? And what does it mean to actually be done? How can we learn from what we finish? Instead of just moving it to done and forgetting about it, we need to learn from those dones, the work that we actually do. Are we visualizing everything? Are we seeing all of the work? Or are there other hidden whip out there that's giving us a hard time that we need to address, right? As soon as we become aware of it, then it becomes a little easier to manage. And then finally, at the end is, why are we doing all of this? After the work is done, what are the things that really matter about how this stuff gets completed? And we can also fine tune, we'll talk about a few techniques to make things a little bit easier to manage. But, what you'll see in this course is, and we'll go through this, and I think Dushyanthan will talk a little bit about some of the workshop ideas that we want to do to kind of guide us together. But we will take basically tasks that are done in your Kanban board, but then we'll copy those and do other techniques with these tasks. One example would be like, how much of these tasks do you actually have control over? And how many of you don't? That would be kind of an example of an exercise that we'll do. The intent is we go a lot deeper than the basics. We want to work with you as a class to do some exercises together. That's why it's important to show up to each of these sessions so you can have that experience. And then the end result should be you will have your own board, and this will be how you hopefully do work for the rest of your days, right? Whether this is work at your career, whether this is you can remodel your kitchen in this technique. I know people that have gotten married using Kanban. Well,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
if you have a collection of things to do, certainly like Shanthan said, as you feel overwhelmed, then just visualize it, limit your work, and just start to see it in front of you. And then hopefully it gets a little easier for you.
Yeah, awesome. So, as Tim is describing this, what you're seeing is the presentation on a Miro board. So, this is going to be one of the expectations for you that you have a Miro account. And then it can be the free account as well, because we will share the board for the students. But a lot of the visualization will be done on Miro. You can take what you learn in Miro and apply it to other digital whiteboards that you may be using, perhaps Figma, perhaps Workflowy, or some other kind of tool that your organization or yourself you like, and we can apply it. One thing that Tim alluded to is kind of like what your board should look like. And so there's an evolution here, and we wanted to bring this to you and showcase it in a way that it's not just a Jira approach, it's not just a Trello approach, it's not rigid. It's a Kanban that you build for the project or the group of tasks or some sort of organization that you'd like to have at the moment, and evolve this so that you can understand what flow feels like and how to make work a lot of fun and extremely satisfying. So in the very beginning, we're going to start up a basic Kanban, as it were, with 3-column options, doing and done. And over the course of the 4 sessions, we're going to apply these kind of filters like, did you like it? How much control you have over your work? And other sorts of questions to go deeper into the tasks. Because it's not just for your personal life or whatever, it's for the work that you do when you show up to do it, professionally, personally, within your community, within your various other hobby groups and things like that, and to actually understand the work that shows up in your life wherever you are. And so, in some ways, it's like applying a retrospective to all of your life activities, not just in the personal domain and not just in the professional domain, but it becomes something that evolves and it's emergent. So, I understand that I may be using some terms that you are not familiar with, perhaps, but just keep in mind that this is a fun and playful way to actually keeping the two rules of personal Kanban in mind. Visualize your work and limit the work in progress to actually make work fun, meaningful, and enjoyable.
It's great. I think I was just going to, when you were saying those are terms, usually, that's what I love about this course is that those terms we will be using because this is how deep this class goes. It's more than just showing your work and limiting your work in progress. It's just really understanding, why you're doing the work the way you're doing it.
This workshop is for the month of August and is USA centric, but it doesn't mean it's USA centric. If you can't make it for August, if you go to the events page here on Modus Institute, I'll put the link again in the bottom here. You'll notice that the most recent one that's upcoming is August, but we also have September in the US and then mid-September for Australia, US, Australia, and it goes until at least December 2024. So some of the more fun, playful things that will show up is, it's going to be seasonal. So for December, one of the Kanban activities will be how do you do a Kanban for hosting a holiday dinner, as an example. The October one will be throwing a Halloween party, or if you're not into that, some sort of other, end of fall sort of activity. But going back to this board, you can see that there are some expectations that we have of you as a student. So this is a very involved course, in my opinion. With the course content, you already have 3.5 hours of personal Kanban. You have our live sessions, which is about 6 hours. So there's a minimum commitment over the 4 weeks of 10 hours of content. And that's just, the video content and the time spent with us as instructors. In addition to that, the expectations are you will be participating in the Discord community. When you click on the link and you join the Modus Institute server, you will get this access to these two channels, so Guided Personal Kanban and Personal Kanban. Personal Kanban is for the course, but this is going to be for your cohort. Once you start doing all of your activities and communicating with your peers, it's going to be a lot of fun where you can have input from not just us as your instructors, but from the broader Modus Institute community and the faculty, as well as Jim Benson and Tonianne DeMaria as well. Additional considerations are, when you show up to our live sessions, you're going to show up with your web camera on. You're going to show up and you're going to participate because, as Tim alluded to earlier, when we evaluate the tasks that we do, when we evaluate it and think about it and apply those sort of filters in a retrospective manner, what we're doing is we're learning. Not only is the learning for you, it's for your cohort and for your team members. So the invitation is to, bring your team if you think this is valuable. Bring them in so that you can learn together about how work shows up for you in your professional life. And then let me just talk quickly about this document that you may have seen flash up. This is a 6-module course, and at the end of each module, there's some assignments. This is the Google document that you will need to make a copy of to share your assignment work with. So there are going to be like final module assignment questions here. And then basically you're going to write your responses in these green text boxes here. Because it's a template, it allows you to share this in the Discord community, have feedback from your peers as well as from your instructors and the broader faculty as well. And then finally, I just wanted to talk about certification. This course, upon completion, will have a certification component. It'll be provided to you by Accredible. So this is mine. Here's the ID. You get a PDF certificate. You get a seal. And I personally love the seal. So this is what it's going to look like. Now, because this is the guided personal Kanban, there's going to be the seal level 2. This would be kind of like a practitioner certificate or a seal. And that's upon completion of the FMA, of doing some of the work. But if you just wanted to come along and watch the videos and show up for this, that's okay too, because there is a lot of content here. It is quite rich. and you will have access to us for a little bit of time after the course actually completes. Tim, did I miss anything? I know I was talking really fast.
No, you got it. You got all of it. I mean, you kind of covered it all at once, but just in a nutshell, what tech will we be using for this course?
Tim brought it back. So the technology that we're going to be using for this course is going to be Miro, obviously, that you're seeing here. The live sessions that we're going to participate in are going to be hosted on Zoom. So it's going to be a Zoom meeting. It's going to be recorded and it's going to be there for you to review as needed. You'll need to have a Google account or some way to copy the Google document and share that. We're going to be using Discord. So that's going to be for the communications, for feedback and things like that. So we've got, let me just recap. We've got Miro for the digital whiteboard. We've got Zoom for the live sessions. We've got Discord for the community chatter and feedback and learning. And we've got the Google Docs for your final module assignment. Does that cover everything, Tim?
Well, what about those that have experience with Kanban but have a physical board, right? They don't have a digital board. What I'd recommend, at least to participate in the exercises and the workshops and things that we do, is just go ahead and create new tickets digitally within this platform so that we can kind of move it along. So it's not just, well, I'm sorry, I can't participate because all my stickies are behind me on my board. I'd say just take however many stickies you have, not all of them, but maybe just stuff that you're currently working on, add them to a digital version or the Miro version of this so you can participate in some of the exercises. So there might be a little extra work by retyping in some of it, but I think it's worth the investment because you're going to get a lot out of it once you do the workshops and exercises with us.
So, Tim, let me just quickly go to this one and kind of wrap this up. So, folks, this is going to be for the August session where it'll be Tim and myself that'll be teaching this. This is the link that you will go to. Again, I'll put it in the description below. And what you're going to get is the 4 virtual workshop events in August. So Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time. It's mostly North America centric. However, if these times work for you, please join us. It'll be a lot of fun. The other course that you're going to get access to are the bonus content, which is a quick overview and an overarching summary of what Personal Kanban can do. In addition to that, you have some of the faculty presentations where we go deeper into what Personal Kanban can do and some of the modules that you're going to show up. And which leads us to the main package, which is Personal Kanban by Benson and Tonianne DeMaria. And this is that 6-module course that Tim mentioned earlier. So altogether, 3.5 hours for the Personal Kanban, 6 hours with our live content. So a minimum of 10 hours that we're going to do over 4 weeks. And we're going to have a wonderful live session. And so if you're not able to join us in August, it being summer and everything like that, there are other sessions that are going to be hosted currently in US or in Australia. And if you just go to this page, you can pick any of the sessions that you want. And each session actually will have a different flavor depending upon your instructors. It's a lot of fun. I have to say, like Mark Kilby and Dave Pryor, beautiful team. They're out in Eastern. So one is in Florida, one is in New York. So you get a really nice perspective from the Northeast and the Southeast there. Sally is amazing out in Australia. Really great approach. She's the hashtag Stop Bad Agile person that's on LinkedIn. Nice work. I really appreciate all of her efforts and the way that she approaches work. So it's there for September, for October, for November, for December so far. And depending upon when you sign up, it will probably have themed sort of Kanban events and topics to talk about. So that's it from me. Tim, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Well, I like how you said it, that there might be themed approaches to this based on the season. And I think it kind of alludes to what Personal Kanban is. It's all within your context, right? So if you're a local govy like me, you might have a different world than education like this, Jonathan. But you can build your Kanban however you see fit. There is no one right way to do this. So whatever your context provides is how you build your board around that so you can kind of manage this overwhelm and see patterns in your work and get things done.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, and that's that, folks. If you do have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to us. But do sign up. We'd love to have you there because honestly, this is a lot of fun. And this work just continues to get richer and richer as we move tasks from options to doing to done. Options to doing to done. Just immensely satisfying. Thanks, Tim. Any
Thank
last
you.
closing thoughts?
No, I can't wait to see everybody. This will be a fun
Awesome.
class.
Take care, folks. We will see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.